Okay, I actually have a treat for you tonight. I have my friend Nancy Chin Wagner. I've known her for only, let's see, how many, almost 30 plus years already. And she's actually a networking maven. So this is her website. And she actually, let me show you her website. This is her. And I've known her for a very, very, very long time. So she's a networking coach and she does consulting. Okay. And this is her testimonials of clients that have worked with her. And we had such a long conversation because we haven't really talked in a very long time. So we actually talked about 3 hours, and about out of those 3 hours, 1.5 hour was basically the interview. And she did most of the talking, and she just talked and talked and talked, and I just enjoyed listening to her. So I hope you guys listen to this interview and get a lot out of it. Okay, I am here with Nancy Chin Wagner. She owns her own company, Nancy Chin Wagner LLC, and basically what she does is she helps people network. Whether you're a student, whether you're in business, networking is a big part of society today, especially when you're in the virtual world. So Nancy, oh, by the way, I've known Nancy for almost 30, 40 years, so we go way back.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Benson, for the intro. And I'll make sure I keep drinking my Fountain of Youth water here to stay in touch with everybody. So
and it's like she has never aged.
And I appreciate that from you. More importantly is I appreciate you calling me to take this interview because I think the timing is right in regards to the whole subject of networking. I think people forget what networking is all about, or more importantly, they have a fear of networking. And that is like, you don't want to do any networking at all. You don't want to go into networking events. But the thing is, you don't need to go to networking events now because we're under COVID and a pandemic. No one's out there meeting people. No one's out there virtually. Even virtually, some people are afraid to go on virtual. And I'm going, really? You are? And the thing is, when you're virtual, this is a great environment for introverts. Because introverts have a hard time going into regular networking events because of the people. Because they're nervous, they don't know how to introduce themselves to people. They wish they have someone in a networking event so they can actually gravitate towards them and say, oh my God, I do know someone there, so I'm able to get in there. But, most people, stories I hear from a lot of my clients is that once they go to a networking event and they see the number of people, and it could be 25, it could be 50, or it could be one of those chamber events where they're like over 100. It's like that deer in the headlights. They go, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? I don't know anyone here. And let me tell you, I've been there, done that. I'm from New York City. And like Benson says, I've known him for a long, long time. I was actually like a daycare sub-teacher down in Chinatown. And so my family's still there. But I've moved since then to Colorado, and then recently, last September, to Las Vegas. And people go, well, Nancy, why would you go to Las Vegas? And the reason why is because of no snow and the temperatures are better. Even though we did have some cold sessions here. But my husband didn't want to do any shoveling or any kind of anything with snow. And Colorado right now is in about a foot of snow, icy snow, so it's miserable over there. So we came at the right time. The thing is, no matter where I go, I network. No matter where you are, globally, you network. And you go, well, what are you talking about? How do I network and how do I get out there? The thing is, networking is about just cultivating and building relationships. If you have that in your mind, you wouldn't have such a fear that you do when you go to networking events. And what I do is I help the business professionals and students and also introverts and professionals to really get out of their heads of mindsets, to really believe in themselves, to build their confidence and being able to get out there to network with others. I wouldn't say it's like, not easy to overcome stuff. All right. You got to work at it. Like in anything you do in doing your own company or being out there and working on things, it's a job, it's a skill. And, if you want to add value to someone else's life, you got to get out there and either donate, volunteer, or be a part of an impact of what you have in yourself, a gift that you have that you want to offer someone else. So giving and volunteering is awesome to do in your community. So unless you're out there in your community, how are people going to know what gifts you have that you can contribute to others? How do you know that what you do is not something someone else is looking for? If you're not out there, if you're not visually out there, if you're not, because after a while, you're going to tap out your friends and family for referrals. So you have to be out there to network. And you say to yourself, it goes, well, where do I begin? Right? That's one of my questions from a lot of my clients is, well, where do I begin networking? You can begin networking in, the chamber. You can always go as a guest. Most all of a lot of organizations are on Zoom. And you may say you're fatigued and you zoomed out, but who's the boss of turning on the Zoom? You are. So either you turn it on and something that's prioritized in your agenda of what you want to do, or it's just you going on things, just listening to listen. We all need to have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Mm-hmm. So we got to continue to progress forward. We have to have the momentum to move forward. If you're lackadaisical, if you procrastinate, and hey, been there, done that too. So the thing is, moving forward and having that momentum to continue, to have the accountability of a partner or a buddy to make sure you're on track with your goals. That's what networking is all about. It's building those relationships. I probably did longer than I did, Benson, but
that's fine. Let me ask you, how did you go from a daycare teacher to where you are now? Take me through that journey.
Good question. All right. So obviously that was the beginning of my early years, working down in Chinatown and being a teacher, because I love kids. All right. And one of the things you do is you love kids because the kids just look up to you. And because you're like the second parent, right, in the school. You have your parents at home, and then you have almost a second parent, and the kids listen to you. So I knew then I was making some kind of a contributory impact on children. And it get to a point where parents trusted me to take the kids out when we went on trips, right? Remember those days you had to have a permission slip and everything like that? Mm-hmm. And some parents didn't let the kids go because they didn't trust the person that was going out, to take them out. But most of the time, the kids that I have, like Benson and a bunch of others, I mean, their parents, they sign away and say, yeah, if Nancy's going, absolutely. And I made you in the subways always hold hands to make sure 2 and 2 going into the train, 2 and 2 is out. And so we all checked on each other. And at those days, that's accountability. Make sure your partner's with you all the time so you don't lose anybody. But I love that. And then from there, obviously going to college, and I went to Hunter College in Manhattan in New York City, graduated there with a communications degree and education. And then from there, got a job in the New York Public Library system. So it was a lot of interaction with people there. But my growth, I would say, was really coming out to Colorado. But that was later on, because in between working at so from school, graduating, and then I went to work for a financial firm. So I went to work for a financial firm down on Wall Street, but during school, I was working part-time in the New York Public Library and going to school at night. I mean, those days the school didn't end until like 9, 10 o'clock at night classes, and then you take the good old subways and that's another half an hour, 45 minutes, but you do what you got to do, but the thing is, I enjoyed it, but as I don't know, most Asian families, There was no hanging out. There was no, let me do a sleepover with my friends. There was no, let me join this club and so I'll be home late. No, you finish school, you're home. Unless you're working, you go home. Or you have classes and stuff, it ends at 3, you go home. Or you go to your job. There is no socializing when I grew up, okay? Things have changed, obviously, and people are, and it's this whole different world. And after COVID, it's even another whole different world, right? That people got to realize, but you have to adapt and you have to move forward. You can't say, but I can't do this and this and this because, and all you're doing is putting negative thoughts in your mind. You don't need negative thoughts in your mind, right? This is a muscle that we only use probably 10-12%. That's because we got a junk in there all the time. It's sabotage. You sabotage yourselves all the time. And the thing is, you got to get that out of your system and move forward and get the negativity out of your system and your negative beliefs and your negative friends and people that are not supporting you or believing in you. And I do a lot of ands. I apologize. So my point is, you are the one that's going to shape your destiny. You're the one that's going to be following your dream and your passion. And one way of doing that is through networking.
So how did you go from finance into networking?
So financing, then my husband had a job change, and then we went to Virginia, and I worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Virginia on the arm of another investment company. But I was always involved with people all the time, right? So with people and everything like that. And then it got to a point where there was another transition, and we went to Boulder, Colorado. And going there, I didn't know anybody. It's at zero. I always tell people, no one, all right? So how do you go about meeting someone, right, and getting involved? I think I talked to a realtor person. They go, well, there's a Boulder Chamber you can join. There's a newcomers club you can join and stuff. So I did those. And I met new people because they're new there too. So
what business were you in back then?
As soon as I went there for 1 year, it wasn't in anything.
Okay.
Then the second year, I said, well, what am I going to do in order to, like, for a business and stuff? I found a job. I worked for another financial firm, right? They wanted me to be a financial advisor. I did not want to do that. So I became the admin, the operations manager in the firm, right? So I did that full time. I was in the different organizations, and I actually was into multi-level marketing, MLM, into a company called Arbonne, which is Swiss skincare. And the reason why I did that is because I go, well, people do have skin and they have to keep it nice and pretty and stuff and really moisturized and all that stuff. And the company had like less than 5% of these toxic, ingredients in the, they didn't, less than 5% of the toxic ingredients that are in a lot of other cosmetics. And so it's more natural. And because Boulder is really into like exercise and really good and stuff, but I think a lot of times, we're out in the sun because there's so much sun there and everything. And it was so, everybody's outdoors doing all kinds of sports and stuff. But the thing is, the skin looked like it was wrinkly and not that great. I was thinking, this is a good way of meeting people. The thing is, this was back in 2004. The thing is, I was trying to do that, but I was also joining the chambers as an ambassador. And so I'm there always meeting and greeting people all the time. And people realized, my friends were saying, why are you doing Arbonne, and it's a great company and stuff. Why are you doing that instead of just doing like networking? And I go, what are you talking about? And that's how I got introduced to networking, because they said I'm very good at meeting people, helping them, introducing them, connecting them, and helping those who are shy, introverted, and have, less confidence and self-esteem. He goes, you're always positive, you're always cheerful, you always have a great attitude. I never hear you talking bad about anybody, and it's just one of those things that you're just a natural. So that's when I started thinking about the business and started to work on being a networking maven. And I've done lectures and speaking engagements in universities here in CU a couple of times and stuff. And, for senior classes and things like that, and working with them. And it was amazing. So not only I am making an impact in talking about networking, but also giving them some great networking tips and how to go about why they're out there networking in a virtual digital age or in a networking face-to-face. Yes, there is a difference between digital and networking face-to-face.
Okay.
So that's how I got into it and stuff, and I love it.
That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome, Ben.
I mean, we've known each other for so many years. I've always seen you on my LinkedIn, Facebook, but never really had a chance to hear your story. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing that. Let me ask you a question. When you're working with someone who is shy, how do you help them?
Well,
how do you bring them out?
How do you bring them out? Well, I'm not bringing them out. They're bringing themselves out.
Okay.
Okay. So, and the thing is, once we first start, we were to sit down and find out, well, what is it that they're shy about, right?
Okay.
Maybe it's not them meeting people. Maybe it's just inside them that they are really a shy person. And it could be from a mindset of when they were growing up. They didn't have the opportunity to be taught maybe, or they just didn't have the ability to be able to be out there meeting people.
Okay.
And it could be when they're growing up, they got bullied or they got name calling, or all these things affect the mindset of how they feel. Now, there's nothing wrong at all being an introvert, nothing wrong of being an extrovert. But extrovert will look at an introvert and say, God, that, very conceited person. She doesn't even talk to anybody, right? Then you get someone that's a shy person that's an introvert. They would say, boy, I couldn't do what that person does. I mean, going around talking like that and, hopping from one person, I couldn't do that, you see? But you're already putting negative barriers on yourself by saying you can't do it. And it's something that you can do, but you probably, as an introvert, you have to recharge. And by what I say a recharge, I mean like some people can stay at a networking event for 2-3 hours. The light's got to flicker for them to know it's ending. Right? So it's taken out, right? So, but for others, it's like, where do I begin? Where do I start? And who do I see? And there's ways of doing that. And then also, you don't have to stay a whole time. If you're in a conference and you're down there and it's a 3-hour conference, I mean, after an hour, you're probably wiped out. Well, go up to your room and take a 15-minute recharge. Take a break and or breathe, or get into a meditative state, or just get away from people where you're in a nice, safe space and you feel more comfortable. And then if you feel like going back down, go back down. And then maybe ask one of the people that are there that's fairly new, so you're both fairly new, and question like, this is my first time here. Is it your first time here? And they would say, yeah, it is. He goes, oh my God, because I got so nervous. I thought I was the only one here that's first time here. And she goes, oh no. And then you can say, can we get away from here? Let's have a cup of coffee at the, and have a drink or whatever on the side over here. And then it's like you, one-on-one, which introverts are fine with one-on-one. They're fine with up to probably a sweet spot, I would say, is 6. Even 10 is too many people, right? So then then usually I have groups that I deal with that works with that. But I also work with them by, when they did the actual networking, I was actually doing something called shadow networking. What I mean was I go with them to a networking event that they want to go to.
Sort of like for dating, wingman?
Yeah, like wingman, right.
Okay.
On the side over there, but not like getting too involved, but they know I'm there, so it's kind of like almost a security blanket. But just having a person there that's got their back is really important. And I would take notes. What's their body language? How are they just hanging out at the bar? Are they hanging around near the food, waiting for someone to come talk to them instead of them reaching out and saying hello, and start the conversation? So I watch all that for the first hour and stuff like that, and then we leave, and then I formulate.
Wait, so you take a whole group of people and you go into a bar and then you see how they interact?
Well, no, I don't take the whole group.
Oh, one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, because I want the one-on-one.
Okay.
People don't want to know how they are when there's other people around. That's why the group, when I get a mindset group together, it's usually the 4 to 6 group. It's not a lot, because you can open up to so much, to so many people, and you like to keep things to yourself. So sometimes it's just a one-on-one coaching, but a lot of times it's the group, because because in the group you can share ideas, or they can say, I was in the same situation. This is what I did, right? So you're sharing that information, which is an additive value to the group, because people feel that they're the only one that goes through this, and they're not. By far, they are not the only one. Or they would say, I felt so bad because, I just didn't know. I was in a group, somebody left me there, and I didn't know how to leave, and they go, how do I leave, and questions like that. And it's not hard to leave. It's just that instinct and what we believe in inside. It keeps us from doing what we should be doing, right? And these are all learned skills, and that's why networking is a skill, because it's all about cultivating those relationships. It's not what I call card shocking. Like somebody comes like a shark, and then they go, here's 5 cards. You just meet them, and here's 5 cards. If you don't mind, can you just share that with your friends?
I know. I've been approached like that so many times.
A lot, yeah. Do you know them?
No, I don't even know them at all. And it's like I come out with the cards in my pocket. And it's like, what are this? So I dump it out into the garbage can or something, because I don't really network with them. But the thing is, I've also done that several times myself in the beginning. So it's a learning experience. Yeah,
it's not about collecting a lot of cards. It's going in and have an idea and saying, I'm gonna have a goal, like I'm gonna speak to 2 people, or I'm gonna be able to speak to maybe 3 to 5 and have coffee with 1 or 2.
Let me ask you a question. You told me that you attended the Tony Robbins session just recently. Did you come out of there meeting people?
Yes.
Yes.
So you asked me, so go, well, how do you come out of a Tony Robbins that's virtual on Zoom meeting?
Oh, it was virtual? Oh, it wasn't live? So tell me about that.
I probably would have met more people if it was live. But really, on a virtual, for anybody, this little tidbit, you're on a team, right? Okay. There was over 30,000 people in 136 countries. I'm sorry. Over 30,000 people in 136 countries, all over, different time zones.
Wow.
You got people from Australia, New Zealand watching the program like 2 or 3 in the morning, when it's like 8 or 9. I don't know what time, but I had to get up like 5:45, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And then you're lucky you go to the bathrooms and stuff. My husband had to fend for himself. Like an hour break, they give you a half an hour break, and then you're moving. You're constantly, it's just one after the other. And you said, how did I go through that? But they were so many breakthroughs doing something like this. And it's not only a breakthrough for myself, but it's a breakthrough for me to also offer to my group, my networking sphere, right? Of things that I learned that I can impart with them. And the breakthroughs are so amazing, because they won't work unless you work at it, right? You got to keep the momentum going. You got to keep, so how did I meet these people?
Yes.
Right, on Zoom?
Yes.
Is that you're on a team, everybody's talking when he's doing his thing, or when another speaker's doing his thing, right? You're on Zoom, so you have also the little pictures, right? The thumbnails of people, and sometimes you have their names, and sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't, right? But you're all chatting on the chat, right?
So
he said, does anybody take the notes of the first 3 points he mentioned, and that you're back and forth, and then somebody would say, like me, I would say, I would love to connect. If anybody's interested, this is my LinkedIn, right? And then the next thing you know is everybody's putting their LinkedIn thing. It's on the thing here. Well, you don't have time to do so I'm writing like a mad woman on my little note here, and trying to find, these people later on. But what I noticed is it's best if you give your LinkedIn and have them connect with you, because sometimes you write the first and last name and you go to LinkedIn looking for them, and there's like 10 people with the same name. And you not only don't recognize the picture, if there is a picture, because they may not have a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you connect with them? So a lot of times they connected, or there was a Facebook page, so everybody was on the Facebook page for that team,
Okay.
talking back and forth. So you're connected. So I connected with people in UK. I connected people in Spain, Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah. So because networking, I'm going global. For Colorado, it's not going to hold me in. This lady's going, because it's something important. Yeah, it's something important for everyone to learn and everyone to know, and it's your work. You work at it. It's like everybody taking different types of coaches. I coach you in networking. If you want to know about marketing and all that kind of stuff, you go to someone else, right? If you want to know about how I do it, is not just networking. It's really mindset changes, right? It's a transformation of yourself into something new and different. It's you taking control of what your destiny is, right? You're the master of your ship, right? You're not going to get somebody else to steer it for you, but yet we do that because we think about other people, and that's not what it should be. I mean, we're in this life. It's one life, one person right here, one soul. What are you going to do with it? You're going to be listening to everybody else. The same thing like boyfriends and all that. It's who you connect with. How do you feel? What's your intuitive feeling about a person? Because I can talk to people, and sometimes I can just feel a connection right then and there. For others, I can see it's just a salesy thing. And I've been sold so many things in the past. I don't have time for that kind of salesman talk, And a lot of people link in with me. I mean, and the thing is, you have to watch these profiles, because there's a lot of people that are just looking for something else. So be very careful. Make sure you have one of the things is make sure you have a LinkedIn profile there, so people can look at you before they connect with you and see what you do, and how many connections you have. I just went over the 2,000 mark, so it's really cool. But really, when I said it's really cool, but the thing is, when you think about it, it's really cool. But if you don't use it, how cool is it, right? I mean, you have to touch base with people. You have to get your story out there. You have to have an article. You got to reshare someone else's article. Get your name out there and stuff. So, because in Boulder, my name is there. I mean, people in the chamber and a lot of different events and stuff, they already know me. So my brand is there. Okay, I'm not hyping me or anything like that, but when people talk about networking, like they said, it's Nancy Chin Wagner. It's not Nancy, it's Nancy Chin Wagner. And like January, another person has her own digital marketing group, also digital marketing, and she says, so for my members, I have members in the society, and I thought of networking as my first topic in January, and I thought of you. That's what you want. You want to be the go-to person. That's someone, when they think about something, you're the person that they're going to be talking to and speaking to. So if you're a coach in certain areas, you want to make sure that they know you're not just a general coach. You're a divorce coach. You're a coach for mindset changing and growth. You're a coach for healing. You're a coach. So explanation and being able to clarify what your points are is really important. And also adding value, and also being able to continue that momentum for yourself to keep moving and learning. But we're stuck. A lot of us is stuck, and a lot of us is stuck due to fear. A lot of us is stuck due to all the stuff on the TV. Don't watch it. Go watch yourself a movie. I mean, and read books.
What books are you recommending for people?
Any Tony Robbins book is really good.
Okay.
Even one with Waking the Giant Within. That was one of his first books. Go in and do some audio books. I'm doing things with anything with like networking and social networking, just reading, getting tips and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of tips you learn by your experience of doing things and everything. One student told me, she goes, God, you're like a LinkedIn person. You're a walking LinkedIn person. And it's not, and it's because I am out there. I used to work full time and go to maybe 3 events a night.
Wow.
And people don't have time for 3 now. I mean, I had a nice husband, let me go out. But the thing is, it's usually like, you work 9 to 5, and then from 5:30 to 7 or 7:30, you're at some networking event, right? And so you're always connecting people and say, who would you like to meet? I was an ambassador, so that was my job to do that, right? And so Benson, what kind of persons, what's your target market? Who are the people you want to meet? And if I know the person, I'm going to bring you over there and introduce you. Boom, just like that, Mm-hmm. And so, but it doesn't teach you how to do it on your own. And that's what I do with coaching and doing lectures and things like that. So the point is like, if you don't try to do it, you're going to be in the same spot a year from now.
Definitely agree with you.
And with Tony Robbins and the books that he's gotten, reading his books, and I've got a couple of other books that I have and stuff, and I can send you a list if some of your readers want to know about them. But
yeah, send me a list. I'll put it in the description.
You put it in the description a little bit. These are some of the books that maybe you would like to take a peek at, and like three or four of them. But the thing is you got to keep this mind going. You can't wait for things to come on your lap. You have to work a little. And I think, some of us, I was a procrastinator too. So it's not like I wasn't doing that either. So I'm working hard, and, you get the aha moments when you're talking to the right people and when people are adding value to what you want to do or inspire you. I mean, that's incredible, because you're going to say, geez, I'm going to listen to her because I can relate. You know what I mean? I can connect with her, and I understand what she's talking about, because my mother's the same way, or something like that, that I didn't let me do all these fun things and social things, and but parents build your character. You can't forget that. There's still your parents, and there's some good ones and there's some bad ones, but that builds your character. We never think about it until later on in life and stuff. And so, more importantly, family's important, loving your kids, but you're important too, and having your joy and your happiness is what's important. Because sure, money is great. Who wouldn't want money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the result and the bottom line is not the money. It's the abundance, the joy, the love when you leave here. And, the man upstairs says, I welcome you. You know what I mean? It's or in any religion you're in. But the thing is like, you can't take the money and burn it up there. There's no retail store, no Amazon virtual, okay? So, sure, you want to live your good life and stuff, save up for it. You want to eat in a nice restaurant, save up for it and go to a nice restaurant. Tony Robbins was saying, I think in one of his things, like, if you really want to eat in a restaurant that has a dining table, you go, save up for it, you go there. It is a totally different experience. Totally different. And our mindset growth is really hard to change when you grow up with a certain way. And I grew up a certain way. I know Benson grew up a certain way, And the thing is, but how do I change? How do I do it? Well, you change by having your own children. That changes you without you even trying to do anything, right? And the second thing is, if you have a business, what are you going to do that's going to make a change to make you say, this is what I really like. I really have a passion for this. And the main thing is, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? I love people. I want to impact their lives, and I want to make a difference. So globally, they have to be able to go to the next level of communication with people. They will have the confidence in doing that. What are people going to say? No? Well, move on, okay? And in the past, I went, why do they say no? I don't understand that. I'm trying to be nice. And all that goes into your head, and you go, oh my God, spend 15 minutes, trying to figure out why. And like, what's the big deal? They don't want to, move ahead. That's all it is to it. So some of my tips I will share with you. And
please. I would love to hear it.
For you. You want me to give it to you now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the 5 tips I want to give to you right now for your audience is 5 networking tips. Is number 1, you're going to be authentic. Not only to other people, you're going to be authentic to yourself. So what I mean by that is you're going to believe in yourself. Get out that rut in your head, that quagmire you got in there with all that other kind of baggage and stuff like that.
Now, are these tips for virtual or for in person?
Both.
Okay, great.
And you'll see, okay?
Okay.
Being authentic and believing yourself. That has nothing to do with, virtual or non-virtual, right?
I agree.
Believing. Okay. 2, listening and being present. Okay? Even when you're listening, are you really present listening to what people are talking about? Do you feel like you're interested? Are you leaning forward sometimes, listening to what they're saying? Or you're just like listening and it's going in here and going out there? Or are you listening and you're going like this? All right? That's not being interested. That's not really totally listening. All right? Number 3, focus. Have focus, have clarity, have momentum. Okay, so far it's working for both sides, isn't it, Benson?
I totally
Next
agree.
one is, huh?
I totally agree.
Yes, okay. The 4th one is, as Tony Robbins says, be in a peak state of mind. So what does he mean, and what do I mean by being in the peak state of mind? That means your mind is going to be happy. It's going to be in a peak state where you're going to be euphoric and you're feeling great. Like you can do like X amount of jumping jacks, get the blood rushing in your system. You're ready to go. You're ready to hop out there and get things, going. You have your momentum. Or you're going to be at home working off your computer and really studying things instead of watching, too many movies on it or too many other things that you shouldn't be watching. I mean, if you're at your home and you want to do 3 hours of work, do the 3 hours work and do work. Don't be watching and reading so many emails that people are always asking you things that maybe has nothing to do with your business. They just want to chit chat. Well, it's your business to really have a lot of time chit chatting anymore. You got to focus on that a little bit. Okay. And I'm not saying you don't have friends. Obviously you still have your friends and everything, but you got to get them into your schedule and stuff. And the last one, the 5th, is follow-up. Because most people don't follow up and most people don't take action. They'll listen, they'll do what whatever the person says and stuff like that, and they don't follow up. So be authentic, listen, be present, number 2. Number 3, focus, have your momentum, keep on going. 4, be in your peak state of mind. So be happy, be positive, have good attitude, have love and joy in your heart. Okay? And the 5th is follow up. How do you follow up with a person after you meet them?
You asking me? I just either give them a call or just text them or email.
Right. And those are 3 of the ways that I would say, yes, that's what you do. Follow up, and you actually do the email, the call, or if everything's open, you just drop by. Maybe give them 2 cookies or something like that in a bag. And then say, is Barbara there? Is Barbara here today? And she goes, yeah, Barbara's in the bag. You want her? No. Don't want to take her time. She's really busy. And your card is in the bag. And I just want to drop this off to her because she's been really nice and stuff. And I want her to have a good day. Do you think Barbara's going to remember that? I think so.
Yes.
Right? It's also like your own card or just a thank you card. I just bought a couple of cards that I'm sent to friends and stuff, and it's just like, here's a healing power of a smiley face. Isn't that going to make someone happy just to get something like this? And what is it going to cost you? Like the card and like what? How much is stamps now? 52 cents or something like that, or 57 cents? And it's just gonna make them feel good. And a lot of us have bad days. We wake up in the wrong side of the bed. I understand that. We got kids that driving you crazy and you go, oh my God, what am I going to do? And all this kind of stuff. Things like this do happen. Life happens. Things happen outside the environment that you didn't even expect. Okay? And the thing is we take it, we flow with it, like you said, about flowing conversations and everything. But the thing is, we got to prioritize what's important to us. All right? If someone's ill or somebody's got the cancer or somebody's got breast cancer or something, you want to be there for them. You drop everything, you want to be there for them. Okay? So, and that's really important in life and stuff. I have behind me.
Yes, that's my next question is, what is behind you that you have a story you wanted to share?
Yeah. So behind me is a object that's made out of straw and painted in gold. Okay? And this is what I consider my sphere of influence. And I'm going to move my head. This star in the middle, I don't know how to point.
I see it.
Right, this star right here, that's every one of you in there. Okay? So you're like the sun. So everyone you network with is going to form another loop, right? Family probably forms all the way out to here somewhere, right? And the next scene, it keeps growing. And so this is your network and your web. When you're out in a barbecue, you're networking. When you're at your friend's, party for a slumber party, you're networking. You're having fun, but you're also networking with the people around you. Because each one could be a doctor, a pharmacist, a cardiac surgeon. You just don't know, especially in school. So just a few days ago, I just did a speaking engagement with some young women from 20 to 25 years old, young, and they had no idea what to do outside of after graduation, right?
Okay.
And to meeting people. One of them actually graduated from an aeronautics school. A woman, a young lady, was awesome. She's actually interning with a private jet company.
Okay.
Right? Could be admin or whatever, right? So a private jet company where people with private jets land. It's not commercial, it's private. Private jets have people in there that are millionaires, billionaires, people who have money.
Yes.
Or grouping, right?
Lots of money.
Okay. So one guy told this other girl, he goes, well, if you need any help, let me know, blah, blah, blah. Well, this kind of stuff. Well, you're young. You go, okay, yeah, sure, thank you. Very appreciate it, right? And I go, that right there was a gold mine for you. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, it's because this is where you start networking. What do you do with the name? I don't know. I said, do you have a spreadsheet? Have you started just having name, email address, maybe a phone number? And maybe with the industry they're in? No. Start. Now she's graduated. Now she started this in the beginning of college. By the time she graduates, she's probably got hundreds of people. But networking is never taught in school. Networking is not taught in colleges or anything like that. But they bring in people like me to lecture about it and everything. But the thing is, I can lecture. You got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the work. So if you don't start, you know what I mean? And when you leave the job, you're going to remember that guy? Probably not. But if it's in your database, you can always remind them where you met with the person and how they are and how was Sally and John, if you knew the names, if you got really close to them and stuff. Because it means something. It touches them. And they go, wow, she remembered such and such or whatever. But you have to start somewhere. So if any of you guys haven't started, start. All right? List down all the people you know. List down all the people that you have met that could be a good person to actually give you referrals. A good person you can ask and say, this is what I'm doing. Do you know anyone that is interested in any kind of digital marketing that I can help them with? I'd be willing to speak to them for a 30-minute call or a 20-minute, whatever you want, and have a one-to-one, see if there's a fit. Could be a fit. Maybe it's not a fit. It's okay. But if you just gave them a few tidbits and stuff, that's fine too. People remember that. What was it? I think Maya Angelou had a thing. People are not going to remember. I'm going to paraphrase. I don't have it in front of me. People are not going to remember what you say. People are not going to remember what you do. People are going to remember how you made them feel. And that was a quote from Maya Angelou. So if you leave every situation, people say, God, she was so nice, or she really did something that was really good, for someone else helping, and she didn't ask for anything or anything like that. It's just, it's giving. So I'm in a lot of organizations that's in Boulder and stuff. I'm still in those organizations. I was on 2 boards, and one of them I just finished. The first one was Cultivate, so I'm on a senior elders board. It's a nonprofit that helps seniors flourish in the community. Mm-hmm. So we have 5 different programs, and I'm on the board for that for the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And then I was on the board for the Boulder Rotary Club, which is the largest Rotary Club in Colorado. And I've met tons of people there. Which is awesome. And we don't really solicit job, but we get to know the person. And like I said in the beginning, networking is about building those relationships and cultivating them. So met people there. I am now doing interviews with the Rotarians online. and everybody loves it because I don't give the president or anything the questions I'm asking them. So they don't know. The president one time says, well, I really would like to know, like, who you're interviewing. I said, isn't it more exciting if you didn't know? It's because it's a Rotarian, it's a member, so it's member highlights, right? But I try to bring in people that are, that maybe they come to every meeting, but maybe we haven't heard from them in a while. And then when our group meets every Friday at noon, it's like so many people on the Zoom, 80 to over 100 people. It's like, it's like you can't talk to anybody. You're lucky you say hi to them or chat with them or something like that. But you see how the fingers and everything reaches out and stuff like that. It's and that's how your web, like this behind me, reaches out. If you sat down and even wrote down some names, it's amazing how many people you know that you probably haven't talked to, you haven't called, you haven't even dropped a line or an email and stuff, And these are the people who are probably very supportive of you, want to help you as best they can of anything, and want to stay in touch. And it doesn't mean you call them every month. It's just a matter of the touch, right? Just like Steve Jobs was saying. He goes, all I wanted to leave was, and for myself, is to put a dent in the universe. Powerful stuff. That's all I want to do is just put a dent in the universe, and we go crazy of doing and concentrating on things that are negative, like, oh my God, somebody bumped me in the car and I got a dent, and then right away they want the police and all that stuff. Man, in the old days, that's why you have bumpers, right, in cars. For that, you're gonna have some dents and you have some bumpers. Are you gonna stay for an hour waiting for police because you got a little dent on the thing? It's not a crash. I'm just saying a dent. All right. So it's like people are getting too itchy and too nervous, and the fear out there. Everything's culminating, and they break out and they burst into different things. And we gotta get that kindness back in. We gotta get people to really like each other, to really help each other, to extend ourselves, to share our gifts, to be able to help others who are stuck. That's what I like to do, and to have a person smile and have a person really feel good and have an aha moment and say, you helped me so much to where I can move forward now and everything. And or just having my weekly accountability call, it just means so much. It's not to slap them on the hand and go, why didn't you do that assignment? No. It's about, did something come up that you weren't able to do this? Let's move it to another date and stuff, right? If it's not something that's crucial, So it's the holding hands. It's being able to really get you going, not me holding your hand. It's really getting you going. And for what I'm saying, you're going to take over and be one of the best networkers out there, right? So, a lot of people say, I know how to network. Well, okay, then do your thing. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Other people came to me and go, Nancy, I want to do a speed networking. Is that okay with you? Why are you asking me? If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. It's not, if I'm going to do it, it's because of me, Nancy Chin Wagner, all right? It's not because you're taking something that it could be under my networking wing, which I've done in the past too. It's okay. I'm not that kind of a person, but if you want, the expertise of me, the walk and talk of Nancy Chin Wagner doing networking and stuff, then that's a whole different thing. That's why you go to coaches who are experts. That's why you go to and speak to people who know what they know, not people who are faking it. And that's why being authentic is so important, because you got to believe in yourself. And that's what it comes down to. Don't you want to be in a group that's have that same mindset that you can share, to be talking about things like this and sharing to move forward and have a better way of, building your own business. That's what I like.
I think you answered all my questions. I do have one more question. I was looking at your website. You have something called Power Networker. Can you go into that?
Okay. I have a group that's called Power Connectors.
Oh, Power Connectors.
Power Connections. But then from that, I got Power Connectors, right? Because I like to call the people who are members in that group that they are Power Connectors.
Okay.
Each of us are Power Connectors. Each of us has that glow within us to help others. Sometimes the glow is so dim you can hardly see it, right? So what we like to do is to light up and spark that glow within you to actually show people that you can do a lot of things. So Power Connectors is a weekly networking group. They wanted to keep it small, so I have between 12 to 15 people in it. They come every week, once in a week. I opened this group at the end of March, beginning of April. And I opened the group Power Connectors because I wanted to
In 2020?
2020.
Okay.
Right? 2020. So when we had the shutdown, I'm going, oh my God, how are people going to network? How are people going to meet each other if they can't go out to a coffee shop? They can't go out to a restaurant. Networking events are closed, right? And all that. So right away, I thought, let me get it on Zoom and we can meet together, right? The people can meet together. So I opened it up. We have these people come in, and then they decided we want to keep it small, right? This has been running continuously once a week, all right? And it is coming up to 1 year, all right? We have done so much. We closed only during the holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and probably New Year's, okay? It's been open every week, all right? And I'm here in Las Vegas. They're in Colorado, all the people, right? So before I left to come to Las Vegas is in September. August, I think it was July or August. I think it was August. I met them at a park because at that time, you know, in August of 2020, you're able to meet people but 10 feet apart, 6 to 10 feet apart. We went to a park, open space. We went to, it was sunny and hot as anything. God, we're lucky we went to a picnic area that had a roof. And they all came out, and we had 3 to a table, some 2 to a picnic table.
Okay.
Potlucked it, got food there, did my lesson, and we talked about different things. I even gave them some wands, you know? So they were out there wanting, if you could have anything in the world, what it would be, you know? So they did their wand thing and stuff. It was so much fun. And the thing, and I like having fun too. So they decided, can we meet in such and such day? Then we switched it. And then can we just keep it with this group? And that's it. Don't open it up to anybody else. And I went, okay, we'll do that. And we've been meeting ever since. And we're just finishing up. We have one more person this coming Wednesday doing a presentation. But each person in the group had to do a presentation because I asked them, what is your major fear? And their major fear is doing speeches and presentations.
Okay.
So each person was able to do 20 minutes, half an hour presentation on anything they want. So it could be on their business, could be a cooking thing, because I have a pampered chef person in my group. It could be on raising kids. It could be on cooking. Like I said, it could be on dealing with depression. It could be on whatever you want to talk about. I left it open to you. So they were able to tap me to say, this is what I'm going to be doing. One person talked about her journey to her passion job. She's been talking like she needed a job and and she finally got one. She got an offer and she got it. It was so happy for her. And we all tried to help her get a job and things like that. So she got it, so she's very happy. And she goes, if it wasn't for you, you know, keeping persistence and being able to continue sending those resumes out and talking to people and getting referrals, because I don't know, you know, I would probably hit my head and stuff like that, because like, why isn't anybody hiring me? But see, then you're going in your negative spiral, and we won't want you to do that. So it's a very positive type of a group and stuff. And I'm going to do the next level in a month or so. And so that's, I think it's important to stay connected. It's important for the Power Connectors group to stay connected, because we bring in people that talk about different things too. And we learn. And it's in 1 hour, and it's fantastic. I mean, they can't wait to sign on, you know, on the thing and on my Zoom. So, and it's a win-win, because what happens is, I thought I was going to get like, what do you call? Somebody says, Nancy, aren't you like going through withdrawal because you're not meeting anybody in person anymore? And I went, you know, I never really thought about that. And because I do miss meeting people. I'm a hugger. I love hugging people.
I see all your pictures. You're like always hugging people.
So all those pictures, hugging, I'm with a lot of people, you know, and I'm taking pictures with people and all this kind of stuff and everything. And the thing is, people love that, you know. I mean, they love it. They know when I'm with the chamber stuff, I'm taking pictures. They know, oh, here comes Nancy. She wants to take a picture. If you want to be in it, you better get over there, you know, that kind of thing. And I'll put it up on Facebook, and you know. And the thing is it's like everybody's having fun. They're feeling good. You're there to chat with people. You're there to talk to people. You're there to introduce and get to know someone. You're not there to sell. And that's what the main thing is people are really, they want that. They want that little needed. You know, a lot of people like to feel needed, feel wanted and stuff, you know. And I just met a senior, because I'm calling seniors, you know, because in my Cultivate group, every week I call a senior and touch base.
Senior in college or senior in
elderly?
Elderly, okay.
Elderly senior, and I call them up, and sometimes I miss a week and I feel bad, but we call the senior just to catch up with them. What's going on with you? How's everything going? Some have family, some don't have anybody. So having the call is great, you know, and you're just touching base with them and talking to them, and they tell you about their families. They tell you about all kinds of stuff and everything like that. You know, it's just having a conversation, having a person to be able to listen to them and have back and forth instead of, because a lot of them not even leaving the house, you know, throwing the garbage out or something like that. And maybe walking the dog if they have a dog. But I mean, it's just like people reaching out, touching base. And I know for Bolden, I'm sure in a lot of other cities, everybody's trying to reach out to help their neighbors, help their restaurants by ordering food out, you know, curbside, and or eating in if they're able to eat in, and being smart about it, you know, wearing the mask and 6 feet away, whatever. But the thing is, you know, if those are the rules, you got to kind of follow them right now. But if I'm outside, you know, I don't have my mask because I want the sunshine, you know, and that's always good and kills a lot of bacteria and germs and stuff like that. And there's nobody walking on the you know, trail as much as you think it is. So going out to the park is really good for everyone. And I mean, I have a person that doesn't even go out their backyard, and I go, why? And he goes, well, because I might catch it. I said, this is not flying here, you know. And it's just that, you know, you come out with your cup of coffee, and they come out with their cup of coffee, and they can talk, and you invite them over, and you sit on opposite ends of the table, and you have a conversation. Obviously now there's snow in Colin, you can't do that, but I mean, you know, you can do that. Go on a hike trip with other hikers, like maybe 4 in a group or something, and do something. But God, you know, don't let the fear out there and other people say things to you that you're not doing anything. Because if you look at the numbers, and I know people are dying, I know people, you know, but also some crazy people are, you know, moving people into, like, if you're not sick and you don't feel that well, but you go into a room that everybody's sick, what do you think's going to happen, you know? So the thing is to you yourself take those precautions. You wash your hands. You get those little Purells. You clean your hands. You know, you 20 seconds and stuff like that. You put your mask on. I love the mask. I think when they tell you when they go in the store to take it off, I'm going to leave it on until I eat. You know, when they say no more masks anymore, right? And so, because I just like the different colors and people wearing different things. It's so much fun and stuff. But the main thing is safety is important, you know. So if you do feel like you don't want to, don't. But don't complain about it either, you know. But I think lose that connection, a lot of other things happen. People are at home more often. There's got more, you know. I can go into a lot of other things, but you know, the thing is, I want to stay with the networking because. Yes. Because on the other, I can just go on to what bad things can happen when people
stay on topic. Keep positive.
Stay on top of the networking and stuff. So just because you're online doesn't mean you can't network. You still can network it. You can still take down names. You can still talk to them and say, you know, I really connected with you. Is it okay we can link in with each other? You know, this way when you link in, hopefully they have a good profile, right? That you can read and they can read yours. And if they want to connect, then they connect, you know? But the thing is to have that connection there, and then to keep it going. You know, they may not be a referral right now, but who knows? 2 years down the line, somebody just may find you again and go, oh, I just went to this company and they really could use some help with networking. Do you think you can talk to them? Then it's up to you to do the contract or what it is to actually, close the deal, right? But the main thing is, this is why you do networking and get your sphere of influence out there so that you're able to tap on people, because you never know who they will meet that could use your services. You just never know. So you also have to be out there meeting people. Don't sit on
I have a couple other questions I came up with.
Sure.
And these are regarding specific apps. Have you ever heard of an app called Alignable?
Yes.
Have you used it to network?
I just got on it. Some like 3 or 4 people have been hitting me and trying to make me join and stuff. So I joined, but I did not join for what they always get you in, and then they want you to get the premium.
Yes.
Right? Same thing with LinkedIn. I'm not on the LinkedIn premium. Okay? and if I can't send them a message and they want to connect with me, sorry, I can't reach you. Send me an email. Because I got my website up there. They can always go to my website, find my email, send me an email and say, hey, I try to link in with you, blah, blah, blah. If I had the email, then I could tell them this is the reason why. Because, I have used Alignable. A lot of people are like linking in with me, or whatever they're doing in Alignable, connecting with me and stuff. Like so I said, all right, I'll do it and stuff. And I got on, and all of a sudden I'm getting these hits and stuff. And it's people that I know that I didn't know that was on Alignable. And they go, oh my God, you're on Alignable. Let's connect. And so good to hear from you, Nancy. And da-da-da. So I get all that, And I should be using my LinkedIn more, right? I try to throw out articles, or I share articles, which is another way you can also be more visible in your network. Is to be visible is set. If you read an article, you think it's really good that other people may, learn from it, then share the article. That's all you have to do, is share the article. But it's under you that you read it, and you may say, this could be interesting to you. And I found it really, interesting. And this way your name is out there, your face is out there, and try to do a couple a week,
What about this new app, Clubhouse?
Okay. Someone mentioned that to me, Clubhouse.
I only just joined recently.
You just joined recently?
Yes, I just got an invitation.
Okay. They've been asking me, and I got to look into it first before I join that and stuff. But the thing is, I'm on another, it's a networking space. Okay? And I don't know what Clubhouse does, but I hear about it. But here's a story. You got time for this one?
Go for it.
Okay. So
we have lots of time.
Okay. So a CU student, all right, was recommended to me, and she graduated, CU meaning Colorado University, and she graduated, and she was referred to me by another friend of mine. And she says, she wanted to go to New York to work. So she says, could I get a testimonial for you? And I know her because we sat and had coffee and all that kind of stuff too, right? And so to get to know each other. Amazing lady and stuff like that. And she, I think she had a Hawaiian name, which was really interesting. But so she says, can you write to this guy and give me a testimonial? Because I'm looking to work in his office up in New York City. And I said, fine. Wrote to him, sent it to him, right? She got hired. Not because of me. I'm sure there's other things and stuff like that, right? Got hired, and she was up there. A couple of years later, another CU student wanted to work in New York City. And I said, well, I just sent someone up there in New York. I didn't send them. I said, I just gave a testimonial for this one girl. Would you like to meet her? And she said, oh my God, I would love to meet her, in New York, because I don't want to stay in Boulder. I want to go to New York City, right? I said, all right. I said, how about I connect you? So I took a picture of myself with her, because it's not like you don't want to send people to meet people, and it's like they don't know what they look like, right? So I took a picture of us, and I sent it to my friend, the first one, and she said, oh, I've been more than happy to meet her, right? They met first time. She came back. She was flying up again, met her again. The woman had a referral to her as an account exec, which she wanted to be, in this new company.
Oh, wow.
She recommended that person. They had a couple of interviews on the phone. One face-to-face interview, she got the job.
Wow.
That's networking. All right. Years later now, down the road now a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
The first girl is not with that marketing company, but the guy who owned the marketing company emailed me and said, Nancy, this is Ramon. How are you? How's everything going? Are you still doing networking events? Right? And I went, yeah, I'm still doing networking and everything. And he goes, well, I just have this new space and I want to give it to you. It's called Kumo Space. And that's spelled K as in night or key, KUMO space.com. It's free. They already set up 4 rooms that you can add to your profile. And I'm using that now for, I did 2 networking events on it. I'm going to start doing a every 3rd Tuesday networking event for people just to come mingle. Okay. So it's awesome. So it's every 3rd Tuesday. So one's coming up, not this Wednesday, I don't think, next week. And it's your face, and you come into the room and it goes ding dong, and it comes in. And the first one I had 2 of my friends being greeters. Okay. Hey, welcome and all that. Anyway, so you come in and you're like in a networking space. It has a piano, right? It's got a bar, right? It's got like a food place. This one particular one was up in a rooftop, so I said, I'll meet you on my rooftop. So when you get in, you click on the rooftop, and ding dong, you come in, you can meet, your face just floats around, and you're meeting other people. It could be 5 people, it could be 20 people, it didn't matter. You can meet them at the pool, and all this kind of stuff. And what happens is, so you're going around, and if you go closer to the music, you're going to hear the music. When you leave the music, right, you're out of range, you're not going to hear the music. Just like if you were in a networking event. It's more cartoonish, you know, the place, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the bar, it says a little tag that says, click on it and you go pour your drink. You click on it and you get a little wine glass under your picture, right? Where your name is, right? Where we have on Zoom. One of my friends was saying, Nancy, make them put a beer there. Make them put a beer so we can get beer. And so when I met the co-founders, that's exactly what I did. I asked them, can you put a little beer bottle over there on the side? So we'll see what they do. And then, because I met both co-founders, and my friend Ramon is now working with the company and stuff. Okay. And so it's all free now. They just started this company in August. And I think it's fun. It's fun. It's an alternative to Zoom. It's clearer here. I mean, you just got your face, but you can put 4 rooms, so you can have a max of 100 people. Wow. You want, and then you, yeah, it's fun. And then you can make the range bigger or smaller. If you want a smaller group, you just close your range a little bit. But
are you chatting, or are you having actual conversation? Can each person hear each other?
Yeah, it's like you're networking.
Okay.
You hear each other. So if you're in the range, anybody in there, you're gonna almost hear each other talking and stuff. Like if you're in a networking event. Okay. Like if we're talking, but we're surrounded by people, you're gonna hear the mumbling of everybody around you talking, right? Okay. Unless you move to another part of the room. Okay. Okay. Now so join us, Benson. I'll send you the.
I would love that. Yeah.
Info or anybody, and just to come on in, and so and I got a newsletter. I'm starting, so if they want to get the newsletter, okay, that'd be good. I'm trying to keep it short. Okay. Because I don't want people scrolling that much and everything. But
hey, do you? Sorry, yeah. Go ahead. You go first. Finish.
I just said I got some information, and I'll send it to you, like my contact information and stuff like that. People need to write to me, and I probably will give you my website, because on there is a calendar, which is people can set appointment, and the first 30 minutes is free.
Okay, that was my question.
Oh, that was your question?
That was my question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So hope that added value to a number of your constituents on the line here, and I hope I'm able to tell you. I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm just saying that you should be networking, and it's a learned skill. So if you're not learning about it, you should be learning about it or getting it from your coach.
Give whoever's watching this an assignment. I don't know. Have them do something to even if they're not going to be coaching with you, give them something, an assignment that they can do for themselves and see how it comes out.
A call to action.
Yeah, call to action.
I was gonna add that at the end because that's when you add them in the call to action. Okay, the call to action. Well, they don't have to send me anything if they don't want to, stuff like that. My call to action to them is to write down on a list 10 people that they know and to call at least 5 of them in a week. Write down one day 10 people that they think they can help them or they haven't spoken to, right? And call at least 5 of them.
Okay.
And touch base.
What should they say? Anything they should say?
Well, obviously they're trying to catch up and how they're doing and everything. And why don't they go ahead and tell them, I just want to give you a call to tell you what I'm doing, right? I left that job 5 years ago, so you probably haven't heard. I did a transition. So I just want to get you up to speed of what I'm doing now. And if you know anybody that could use my services, I would appreciate it. Because a lot of people I hear, they talk to people. Like I get people that calling and say, I didn't even know you moved to Las Vegas. I thought you were just going on vacation. So, because I didn't make a big announcement on anything and stuff. So the point is, there may be a lot of people that don't know what you're doing, what business you're in, and how you're doing. So why not be able to go ahead and update them and just say hi. People just want to say hello to you and just be able to connect. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while and stuff like that. Or, I know someone, I'm so disorganized, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I know somebody that can help you with organizing your stuff in your kitchen if it's all over the place. You can't work with things all over the place. Have a conversation with her. Maybe it's a fit, maybe it's not. You don't have to buy from every person that somebody refers to and everything. It's just a matter of making those connections and building your resources too. Because you may not need them now, but you may need them down the line. So be true to yourself. Be very hopeful and everybody's hoping like something's going to happen. No, you got to make it happen. You have to have the momentum to get things going. You have to have your belief in yourself and you have to be able to make those decisions. It's not easy, but I'm telling you, if you don't start, you're going to be in the same place next year. And things are changing. This is a digital marketing world. This is global. This is going to be everywhere. And these young folks, that's all they know is internet and Wi-Fi and smartphones. And they're going to be moving ahead. We're still catching up, okay? So the thing is, go ahead and please catch up. Do what you can do for your business, all right? Not out of these other paraphernalias that's on the side. Get your mind straight, focus, have clarity, and know your why.
When you were starting your business, what kind of challenges did you have? I mean, did you fail or did you have just tremendous success right away? Because the reason I ask is a lot of people look at success and they're like, oh my God, this person just didn't go through any kind of failure. All they had was success.
And I would go, wrong. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because we all start somewhere. I think a lot of people are looking at Oprah and they're looking at Justin Bieber and they're looking at, all these people that are on Spotify and basketball players and everything like that, right? We all start somewhere. And it's always, you're born, right? Mm-hmm. You're born, you're raised by your parents and everything like that, right? Do you think LeBron James hits those 3-pointers or 5-pointers out there because he just goes like this? I don't think so. I think what it is, it's called practice. Practice makes perfect. How many thousands of this did he do before he was able to go on the court and do it? And you go, wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. Well, he wasn't born with that thing. He's got to learn it. He's got to practice it. And he probably practiced for thousands of hours to do that. Same thing, Michael Jordan. How many fails that he did to try to get that ball into the basket? We all are going through, these different steps to get to the high pinnacle point of success. What is success to you? Is success really making the money? Is it success abundance? Is it happiness? What is success to you? That's what you have to think about, right? But in order to get there and do the steps, was I all? No. Was I, into the success portion of it? I'm success in one way, but I'm still reaching out there with everybody. So I had to start from the beginning. Like I told you, 0 people I knew when I moved to Colorado. Currently now, 0 in Las Vegas because I haven't been out there to Las Vegas, right? To actually meet with people, because I'm still connected with my clients and everybody in Boulder, Colorado. But my thing is to really start now, after the Tony Robbins stuff, is to really open up and go global, because networking is around the world. And I've seen other YouTubes and they're, programs, videos, and people say they're networking, they're doing this and that. And it's going like, just to hear them speak certain things, it's like, I just don't get it, And there's a lot of different skills that needs to be learned when you're networking. And for me, no, it was a failure. I wouldn't think I would say failure, and I don't think people should say failure.
Learning experience.
Yeah, the learning experience and your growth experience. Because in a sense, failure for some are negative thoughts. Failure for others are an opportunity to grow better. It's building your character. It's like you're rising up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the phoenix, you're rising up. You push down, you rise up. You don't let anybody keep you down there. You keep going up as high as you can, because then your mind gets high. Then you have your growth mind. Then you're positive, and you don't have the negativity and stuff. So do we all have to start someplace low, or do we have the success over there? Beyonce, you think she started up where she was? No. By the time she gets out there and doing the ring and all that stuff, she's been practicing like stuff. She's probably got turned down by other recording people and stuff. Who knows? But they all work to where they are now. And that's what we have to do, is you need to be working to where you're at. And by networking, that's when you have those resources, because someone may know someone. Someone may have known a record label person. Someone may have known someone that you just don't know. And that's why I think just networking, because people's experience is so fascinating. I think that's so fascinating to listen to, and how they get to where they got to. And I commend you for interviewing people and just getting these opportunities to reach out to your constituents and say, hey, I got people that I can teach and learn things and stuff. I got people that I can have and have a speak to you, make a presentations to help you, grow and stuff. Whether they take and sign up or anything, that's not the point. The point is what everyone on here are probably adding value, and it's going to touch someone, right? Mm-hmm. In whatever business they're in, it's going to touch someone. Totally. So you either take it or you go, never mind. And it's okay. It's okay. Believe me, it's okay. So the thing is were we all starting from success? The answer was no.
Hey, since you are such a high energetic person, do you just wake up like this, or do you have some kind of morning routine that you put together to get you into shape?
Okay, so I do. Okay. And
can you share that with us?
Sure, I can do that. Well, I won't go into the cleaning,
you have to go into
taking a shower, and
I don't do all that. No. Keep this nice.
We don't go into that. What I get into is, I'll name a couple of them. One is, I definitely need my caffeine. But before my caffeine, even 1 cup, is I get up, and besides the washing face and all stuff, is that I would do meditation.
Okay.
Even if it's Om, it's just centering myself to be at my core. It gets rid of all the fluff and all that kind of stuff that was in my mind and stuff. So what you're doing is you're clearing your mind. Okay. So you do that. So I do that, right? Next thing is, besides clearing my mind, I'm doing something that's going to create momentum in my body, which means I will do exercise. So it could be just, jumping jacks, or it's just swinging my arms back and forth. You're doing momentum. So it's creating your blood flow, because you can get up and just sit down on the couch and stuff, and it's just not creating momentum. It's not starting your day. Okay. So this starts my day. Then I have my coffee. Okay. and then obviously the breakfast and stuff, but sometimes I miss that because I go right to work, because and then I go looking at my emails for a half an hour, probably just going there early morning and stuff, and you get off it, and then I start doing work and preparing lessons, and if I have speaking engagements, I do that. But the thing is to really center yourself and going into doing what you need to be doing to get yourself ready. And we got to prepare ourselves. And preparing ourselves means taking time for an hour or whatever time you want to bring yourself, is to just get away from the kids, get away from your husband and stuff, be in your own space, and just center yourself. I don't, you make people wonder, like, do you ever hear silence?
I hear it all the time.
Silence all the time?
Yep.
See, a lot of people don't hear silence.
I know.
Because they got all that stuff going on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that's why you got to center yourself, because you don't want all that extra stuff in your head to give you room to get new things into your mind, and be open to them. And so and you close your eyes and you just do that. You can listen to music. And now I'm not talking about fancy, very peaceful music, raindrops you can listen to. There's things that, have, I think it's called Calm, CALM. And it's like chimes you can listen to. You can listen to rainfall. You can listen to, and you can and they have it where you can listen to a minute. You can put the time on there yourself, and it's free. So there are things out there, and when you talk to different people, these are things that they share with others that people go, I didn't know that. Let me check that out, right? And so that's what we are. And so you feel good that you're able to share. Whether they know it's you that shared it the first time, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, as long as it helps them. And that's how I feel, that it helps them do that. Okay. So, I do punches. Anything to keep the blood going and having fun and calling up, people that are, wants to work with you and figure out, like, this is something I'd like to continue, if that's what we want to do. But I think the networking would be good for this virtual network, where they have to go in and talk to people. And like you said, they have to have the questions. They have to be able to go in and be able to speak. That's my job, is teaching them how people are going around doing that and stuff. So, but I think if you stay true to yourself, those 5 points that I gave earlier, I think it's really important for them to really believe in themselves, because that's what stops a lot of people, is their belief system, their focus, right? They're not listening. They're being able to be in a peak state of mind and stuff. I mean, that's really important for them to work on. Thank you.